Peter Berley. I'm going to show you how to make your very own pot cheese or ricotta cheese. Very simple to do and something that I love to do, and it's a great time to do it if you're holed up in your house. So, to make ricotta cheese, you just need a few items. Number one, you need some good milk. So this is a very nice milk that I got from my friends at Tea Fluid Farm, but you can use any pasteurized whole milk. I would recommend pasteurized as opposed to ultra pasteurized. So half a gallon of milk. Into my pot. And I'm going to add some cream to enrich it, a cup of cream. So half a gallon of milk, 1 cup of cream, and then some form of acidulation. Acidifying the milk is what will separate the curd or protein from the whey. So to accomplish that, you can do it with, you have a variety of ways of doing that. Number one, you could use vinegar, straight up white vinegar, or a wine vinegar if you want. Wine vinegar is going to give a little flavor to it that I don't really like. You could use apple cider vinegar, same thing, you'll get a little flavor from that, which I don't happen to love, but it will work in terms of forming curd. Or lemon juice is very popular, and that's something that I enjoy using. Lemon juice will work, lime juice will work, or my preferred method is buttermilk. Now the difference between using buttermilk and something like vinegar or lemon juice is that buttermilk is not nearly as sour or acidic as citrus or vinegar. So you need more. You need approximately 3 times as much. If I can just open this thing. Okay. So what you need for, if you're going to use lemon juice or vinegar, the formula is approximately 8 tablespoons or half a cup for half a gallon of milk. If you're going to use buttermilk, you'd use triple that, so about a cup and a half. What I like about buttermilk is that the buttermilk is adding some culture, because this is already lacto-cultured milk, and it adds a really beautiful flavor, and I also think that it actually keeps your ricotta fresher longer. The last thing you'll need is to season it with some salt, and I like to do that after I've already formed my curd. I like to season it after it is chilled. I'll mix in some salt. So just to review, half a gallon of milk, or 2 quarts, 1 cup of cream, and a cup and a half of buttermilk, or half a cup of lemon juice or white vinegar will work well. When this heats up and forms curd, we'll return and you can see how they go. Okay, so back to the ricotta. I just took a break to heat up my milk, and one thing that I want to emphasize is how important it is to be gentle with this, because you don't want to mix too much. Don't get in there and start whisking around. Just do very gentle strokes a few times to make sure that your milk isn't sticking to the bottom of the pan and scorching. I'm on pretty much a high heat until I start to see steam, and then I turn my heat down to medium. And it's really just about a 10-minute wait that it takes. It depends on how cold your milk is to begin with, but a half a gallon of milk, generally speaking, takes about 10, maybe 15 minutes at most. The idea is, in separating your curd from the whey, is to see that the whey, or the liquid, becomes translucent. It changes from an opaque white to kind of a yellowish translucence. And that indicates that the protein has been separated from it. So we're starting to see some curd in here. I don't know if you can come in close. You're starting to see the curd now forming. See that? Just the beginning of it. This is a great thing to do with a child because it's very magical. If you were to use a thermometer You'd want to bring the milk up to about 190 degrees. 190 to 200 degrees is where you really start to form curd. The idea here is not to boil the milk. If you boil the milk, you kind of can break up the curd a little bit, and you can also make it a little bit rubbery in texture. So, you want to be gentle. You want to get this up to a gentle simmer. So boiling point is 212 degrees. And I'll just get out my little thermometer here and check to see where we are. So we're at about, as you can see that, we're approaching 180. So we're going to start seeing now rapid formation of curd. Still under 200 degrees, so we still have a little bit of a ways to go. You can see the surface starting to get much thicker. And now you start to see the whey becoming clearer. You can catch that on the camera. I'll turn this down. And now you can see the curd fully forming. From half a gallon of milk, you'll generally speaking get about 3 cups of ricotta. That smells really good. Now the whey, the leftover whey, has many uses. It's excellent in soups. It's great in a vegetable soup. Something like a root vegetable soup especially, like leek and potato or turnip and carrots. Some kind of a root vegetable soup is excellent. It's great with cabbage. It's wonderful with a cabbage soup as your liquid. It still has protein in it and has all sorts of vitamin and minerals, as the cows convert from the grass that they're eating. This is the grass-fed milk. It's also excellent in baking. So if you're making some muffins or even like sourdough bread, fantastic. Use this liquid let it cool completely, and then use it in your bread baking. You can also feed it to your plants. House plants love this. Once you have pretty much all of the curd strained, the next thing to note is that if you drain this curd all the way, it's going to be all the way. you'll find many puns when you start making ricotta cheese. The best way to do this, my way or the highway, all kinds of things. You'll become a punster. Anyway, if you drain this completely, the ricotta will be very dry as it chills. So what I like to do is to drain it and then add back some of the whey so that it's a little bit soupy, because as it chills, it will just absorb that extra whey. You can always add more after it's chilled anyway, and it'll be fine too. So depending on what you're going to use the ricotta for, if you're going to use it for, say, making a filling for ravioli, then, or making gnocchi with it, then you want a drier whey, you want a drier curd anyway. So you can just drain this all the way, and you'll have a nice firm ricotta to use. If you want it to put on bruschetta, or to put on some toast and drizzle some honey over it, then you want a softer, sort of, more luxurious curd. And so for that, I like to add whey back into it to make it softer. So here we have our curd, and you can see that I just drained this and I plopped it into this bowl, and it's pretty bouncy, it's pretty firm. So I'm going to add back some of this whey so that it looks pretty soupy, but that's what you want, because as it chills, it's just going to suck it right up, even a little bit more. Good. Okay, and then once it's cool, then season with some good sea salt, or you can do it while it's hot too. And you're good to go. This kind of ricotta, I have found, will keep very well for 10 to 12 days in your refrigerator, no problem. So it's a real treat. I encourage you to make some. And if you're out in the North Fork, pay a visit to Liz and Dave and Chris at Teakluid Farm for their beautiful raw milk from their grass-fed pastured cows. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have any questions about this, you can always reach me at Berley, that's BERLEY.P@gmail.com, or you can visit my website, peterberley.com. Thanks for watching.